Last year, we completed phase 1 of our big battery and electrical project, upgrading our house battery bank to a Xantrex eGen lithium system, our chassis batteries to Full River AGMs, and our power cord reel to a new Glendinning unit with 50 feet of cable. We're about to start phase 2, the biggest piece of which will be a major increase in our solar output. But first, we're going to upgrade the gear that protects our entire electrical system. You may recall that instead of hardwiring our new power cord reel directly into the transfer switch, we installed a Hughes internal wiring kit so the cord ends in a female outlet, which we mounted onto the rear wall of our electrical compartment. This makes the system more modular, allowing us to plug our Hughes Autoformer here inside the RV instead of at the power pedestal. But we're improving our setup further and want to show you how our system's laid out and explain why we're doing it this way. One of the first things we did when we bought our RV over 14 years ago was to cut the power cord right where it goes into the transfer switch and hardwire in a surge protector. But we want to replace it with a much higher end unit from Hughes called a Power Watchdog. To continue providing us with the ability to boost low voltage, we'll also be replacing our Autoformer with the latest updated model. If you want to see how Autoformers protect the sensitive gear on an RV, we'll include a link to our original video explaining how they work down below in the description. Later in this video, we'll also tell you how to save 10% on all Hughes products, or you can check the link below. So we'll need to remove our old surge protector. This time, we'll fully modularize the entire electrical protection system by connecting the male end of the internal wiring kit directly to the transfer switch. Before we do that, let's show you how the Power Watchdog works. We visited the Hughes facility in Southern California, where they specialize in products that protect RV electrical systems. We watched Hughes Autoformers being made right here in the USA. They have a test bench where we'll demonstrate the Power Watchdog with EPO. When you plug it in, the face lights up white. It analyzes the power, and a thunk tells you everything's okay and the power's on. Besides protecting the RV from surges and spikes and low and high voltage, the Power Watchdog has Bluetooth, so it sends detailed information to your phone or tablet using the free Hughes app. We have the test bench set to exactly 120 volts, so both legs of our 50 amp circuit are showing 120 volts, as is the digital voltmeter. We'll use this black wheel to adjust the voltage up and down on one of the legs, line 2. As we turn the voltage down, we can see the voltmeter and the display on the app fall in tandem. When it drops below 104, the EPO feature protects our RV systems by cutting off the power with a clunk, a red face, an error code, and an alert on our phone. The app also tells us why the power's out and lets us know that it will turn back on automatically once it senses it's been in a safe range for 90 seconds. We roll the power back into the safe range, and sure enough, the Watchdog turns the power back on 90 seconds later, and the app notifies us. The app also shows us how many kilowatt hours we've used since we plugged into power. We're showing 0.3, but we can reset it by touching the blue Energy Reset button. The system also protects us from an open ground. We'll flip a switch on the test bench, simulating that. The Watchdog cuts the power and again alerts us on the app and tells us exactly what happened. We can touch for more detail and see we have an open ground, which is potentially a very dangerous situation. We flip the switch to restore the ground, and 90 seconds later, the Watchdog turns the power back on. We have the same protection for an open neutral, with the app alerting us that the power's out and telling us why. Once we reconnect the neutral, the Watchdog knows and restores power. The EPO feature also makes sure we're protected from high voltage. As we turn it up, the moment it exceeds 132 volts, the Watchdog shuts the power off and alerts us again. One of our favorite features of all is the fact that alerts also come into our Apple Watch. The Power Watchdog is so much more protection than we've ever had before and has features we couldn't have dreamed of 14 years ago. So let's go ahead and remove the old surge protector and make our electrical compartment fully modular in the process. As long as you're comfortable and careful working with electricity, this kind of thing isn't too difficult. Of course, we start by turning the power off at the pedestal, confirming that our auto gen start system is disabled, and turning off the inverter. The cover comes off our transfer switch easily, and then there are just 4 wires to remove and then replace. They're all clearly color-coded, so it's not complicated. Before we remove the wires that go out to the power cord, we'll take a photo to make sure we're clear on where to reconnect the new ones. We can clearly see that the black wire goes here, then the white wire on this terminal, nothing here, then the red wire, with the green going in behind the terminal block. We'll loosen the screws holding each wire in place. Loosen the strain relief and pull the cable out of the transfer switch. Then we remove the screws that hold the old surge protector to the wall of the compartment and remove the whole thing. This cord is the male plug from the Hughes internal mounting kit, which we'll be installing into the transfer switch. So we'll loosen the screws and remove it from the old surge protector. We'll cut the wires to the right length. Strip the ends, being careful not to nick any of the strands. Then feed the cable up through the strain relief into the transfer switch and install the wires in the correct locations using our photo as a guide. Then we'll replace the cover and we're all set, with the cable and plug now coming right out of the transfer switch. Our new Autoformer includes advanced surge and spike protection with a replaceable module. That way a surge won't require sending it in for repair or replacing it entirely. We'll feed the cord up behind the reel and plug it into the female outlet coming from the main power cord. Then we'll slide our Power Watchdog alongside and plug it into the Autoformer. The last step is to plug the cord from the transfer switch into the Power Watchdog. Now we can just switch on the power. So the path the power follows from the pedestal is through the reel, into the Autoformer, to the Watchdog, and then into the RV at the transfer switch. The reason we put the Autoformer in line before the Watchdog is so that if park power drops below 104 volts, the Autoformer can boost it. If we put the Watchdog first, it would shut the power off below 104 volts. So the Autoformer wouldn't have the opportunity to do its job. We know that having both units at the same time is the ultimate way to protect our entire RV and our electrical equipment. But even if you decide to go with a Power Watchdog with EPO by itself, you'll be protecting your RV from spikes, surges, and other electrical conditions that can damage your rig and equipment. Whether you go for one or the other or both, Hughes offers a 10% discount to RVgeeks viewers. Use the coupon code RVgeeks at checkout at HughesAutoformers.com and save 10% off your entire order. And if you'd like the same awesome cord reel we installed, use the same code to save $70 when you buy one factory direct from Glendinning through their website. Of course, we'll put links to both Hughes and Glendinning down below. We hope this gives you an idea of some great options for making sure you're not the victim of poor park power or a spike or surge. As always, safe travels and thanks for watching.